We met at the church, and I was invited by my aunt, and I didn't want to go. I was just there for support, and that's when I met Gaby, and she came up to me, and she asked me a bunch of questions in English. I told her, like, I don't speak English, and she didn't speak Spanish at the time. So it's been interesting, and I'm glad we met.
So when we first got married, I wanted to live in an apartment and then eventually, move into a home later. And Alberto convinced me to buy this land and for us to build our home together. And one thing I would say that ran through my mind is I'm too young, I don't have good credit, I don't have a good job, how are we going to build this house? And his response was always like, we're gonna do it. So the process Alberto has had to follow is very complicated. In the simplest terms, he was detained in 2014, and out of all the people that were detained with him, he was one of the few that was released. But that means that because he was released, his court date has slowed down tremendously. It's been 6 years and he still even hasn't had his first court date.
So it's been very challenging not knowing what's gonna happen tomorrow. After all, we've learned a lot from each other, and we just keep moving forward with our lives. We don't let this situation stop us. We decided moving forward with the house because we had a year to complete it, and so we did, and we moved forward. When we finished it, we had 1 month for the court date. Luckily for me, they put the court date for Thanksgiving Day, so they pushed it for another 6 months. If we never would have done it, we probably never will be sitting here. Now we have the farm, and she's loving it, and I always, when I picture the house, I always picture her in it, and that's the main reason, really.
During the entire process of us building our home and waiting for the court date, for me at least, it was very overwhelming at times. It really felt like, I had no control over anything, how soon we could build the house, when the court date was coming up. But there were a lot of times when Alberto would comfort me, and he would tell me, these are things and circumstances we can't control, but the one thing that they can't take away from us is us being together. The best advice that I could give to somebody who's in a similar situation as us is not to think about the things that you can't change. There's gonna be a lot of things coming your way, and there's gonna be a lot of people who have their opinions about you and why you're in that specific circumstance, but you can't change any of that. What you can change is your own perspective and continue moving forward. And as long as you're with the person that you love and who supports you through it, that's all that really matters at the end of the day.
Do the right thing. Don't try to cut any corners. Always tell the truth, be honest, and always move forward. Always think and dream big, because when you stop dreaming, you stop living, really.